Welcome, everybody, to a brand new, another quarantine edition of Creepy Old Crypt. The theme parks ain't open.
Nope.
So we're going to try to bring the theme parks to you through your mind. You know,
visually.
You can close your eyes and imagine what we're going to talk about. But I would invite you, challenge you even, to open your eyes. That's right. Because we have some of the craziest visuals on the online platform. Because once again, need I remind you, we are not in the same room. You would think Kevin is sitting right next to me, right here. High five. Yeah.
Yeah.
We nailed
Sick.
it. But not so. We use James Cameron's Light Storm Productions. They lent us their technology so that he can appear to be in the same room. He's actually in a different studio, not even in the same state. So this is the kind of technology we're dealing with right now. Anyway, we'll keep this up as long as we have to.
Yeah.
We can't go to the theme park. Creepy Old Crypt should have a theme song. I didn't even think about that.
I know. We should do another contest.
We had a contest for the Mega 64 and Teen theme song. We should do one for Creepy Old Crypt.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Of course, every week or every month that we put one out, I always like to put a little sample of, the theme park thing that we're talking about. But the last few, man, they've been getting copyright claimed, and I'm just trying to give a sample.
I know, just a little bit, whatever.
So maybe we'll have to pivot.
It's funny you mentioned like imagination and mind's eye, because we literally will probably have to just imagine what we're going to talk about today. Like,
yeah,
that like there's no other way to do it.
That's true, because today's subject is we are talking about unbuilt attractions.
Things that were going to happen, rumored to happen, and never did.
Exactly. These are things that, just never materialized for whatever reason.
Yeah.
In theme parks. Well, no, in theme parks. I was going to list other things, but no, theme parks. That's it. I don't know what other attractions you'd be talking about. We're not going to be talking about casinos or anything. No. We're not going to be talking about strip clubs. Like, they didn't build a VIP room. That has nothing to do. Kevin can talk about that on his own video.
Yeah.
I don't know what his obsession is, but I don't want to speak about that. Anyway, Kevin, on a scale of 1 to 10, how into strip clubs are you? Be honest.
I'd say a good 13 or 14.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We got to have an episode to that. I mean, sorry to the Disney audience, but we definitely want to talk about that, because I'd be like a 28.
I think once we hit like enough episodes, we should just rebrand and just talk about strip clubs.
Yeah, just that. Yeah. I think that's fair.
Yep.
Let's exhaust all the Disney theme park stuff first, and then we'll get to strip clubs.
Yeah,
and we'll
I agree.
Talk about how much money
we're going to run
spent.
out of stuff eventually, and then what else is there to talk about other than strip clubs?
Exactly. There really isn't anything. I'm trying to think of something. I can't. Anyway, but tonight, no, it's attractions that were never built. And again, it's primarily the Disney theme parks. That's just typically, they are what they are. You know what I mean? They're in a league of their own. So that's why that ends up being the predominant conversation. But if there's anything you could think of in a non-Disney theme park that almost got built, but it didn't, please let us know. I mean, the chat, we're streaming this on Twitch, so let us know if you have any ideas for that. But I think it's going to be mostly Disney.
I think so too. That's what I know.
When I say unbuilt attractions, like, okay, this project, this development, whatever, did not get built, what's the first thing that comes to mind for you?
Westcot.
Westcot. That is the first thing that pops in your mind.
First thing that always pops in my head was the second park at Disneyland that eventually became Disney's California Adventure. But they went through a couple things, but Westcot was like Tony Baxter's thing, and I am so bummed it never got built. But because we got a Westcot, an Epcot over here in the 80s. Like, and that's what,
so that's what it was going to be, right? It was going to be just the West Coast version of Epcot.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay.
Just again, it was like a lot of like, here's how this works, and here, like, it was all that stuff, and it had a giant. I think it had a geodesic spear as well too.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it looks like I've looked at some of the Westcot artwork. What's that?
I can't remember. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, the Westcot artwork that they put out for California, because again, like for years, they kept talking about a second park at California, a second park. And that was the contender for so long. And a lot of artwork did have the big geodesic sphere like Epcot.
Yeah.
But then I feel like I did see artwork either later or before where it was like a big spire or something.
Yeah, I do remember
like
seeing that.
a big triangular.
Because I'm sure they went through a lot of different design changes and stuff.
But
so
yeah, all of it looked really surreal.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you mentioned that because it was only yesterday that I watched another thing about it or something. I don't remember what I watched on YouTube or where Tony Baxter was talking more about it. And he said that was like his biggest disappointment, that it didn't get off the ground.
Yeah.
And I did not realize that the plan was they really wanted to, I guess Westcot is the thing that you're bringing up. So I feel bad I've hijacked the situation.
No, it's okay. I don't mind.
This was some good info that I thought when I heard it. But so when Disneyland Paris opened, of course, that sucked the budget out of all these things. That never happened. Half the things we're going to talk about are going to be, Disneyland Paris. Sorry, that sucked up the budget, bro. But anyway, I did not realize. Okay, so Disneyland Paris, when that opened, for those who haven't been there, there's a hotel like built into the entrance of the park. Like
you like go under it to go in.
To go into the park, like, at regular Disneyland, you go under the train bridge and then, oh, look, we're in Disneyland. Yeah. Well, in Paris, you have this barrier of like a big, beautiful hotel kind of building, this ornate thing, and you pass through under it, and there's Disneyland Paris. It's a different kind of transition to enter it. That was controversial at the time. They wanted it to look like a hotel, like, have it look like a, because the streets, it's kind of like, it's meant to be really majestic, and have it look like there's the most majestic hotel looking over it. And they were like, is it a real hotel? No, it's decoration. And then someone suggested, I don't know if it was Michael Eisner or Tony Baxter, but they were like, bro, make it a real hotel. Like,
we should make some money.
Yeah. And people, within the company were really unsure of it. They were like, well, I think when people stay at a hotel, don't they want to get away from the theme park? Like, don't they need a break from that? Like, they want to get away.
This is like in the park.
Yeah.
Like,
it really, And other people were like, well, I don't know. Wouldn't it be kind of magic if, like, when you stay there at night, you could see the park at night and like see what was going on and, get a view of kind of the happenings on Main Street. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't it be kind of neat that you could sleep within the theme park at night? Like, wouldn't people want to do that? And then they were like, yeah, maybe, good point. And it seems like kind of a compromise was made. There's a reason I'm talking about Disneyland Paris right now. I'll get to it in a second, but a compromise was kind of made. They, I'm sorry. I'm trying to adjust everything to make it better, but they were trying to, they made a compromise. They're like, okay, it'll be a real hotel. But if you notice, Disneyland Paris, I think, if I'm not mistaken, isn't there kind of an awning over the Main Street?
Yes, there is.
There's a thing covering it, and I think that was so that you wouldn't see every little like night operation if you stayed at the hotel.
Okay.
I think that's what it was. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, but anyway, I remember that awning, yes.
Yeah, so they built that hotel, and it was a big hit. It was like, whoa, people do want to stay in the hotel that is in the park. Like, it's kind of magic, like, to stay within the theme park at night. People were torn on that, but the crowd spoke. They wanted that. So that led to the idea that whenever they build the second park in California, they should build a theme park or a hotel experience that is in the theme park. Like, you stay inside the theme park or it's connected to the theme park. That's what I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
Because I did not know until yesterday that Westcot, that was like the big plan. That they wanted to build, or Tony Baxter did, want to build the hotel system into their version of World Showcase. I did not know that. So you could stay in Paris. You could stay in Africa. You could stay in,
cool.
I didn't know it was going to be like that. And they said they wanted to even take it a step further and have it be where you could, like, things would still be open. Like, the park closes, but like if you're staying in those hotels, maybe, even at 2 a.m, you could go to a little wine tasting thing and get a little nightcap and, and just hang around in the different countries after the park had closed, and just kind of like hang out, I thought that sounded really cool.
Yeah, that does sound awesome.
Were you aware of any of that?
No,
I didn't know about that.
I was not aware of that. It sounds expensive.
Yeah, I guarantee you it would have. But that was kind of a premium experience, and it was like, maybe you.
That's cool though.
Maybe that was something you would want to do. Is hang out in those countries. And they said like maybe you would even, maybe over the course of your trip you'd even rotate.
So you'd switch to another like area of the world just in World Showcase.
Yeah, maybe you would even like, hey, tonight we're staying in Paris, and then we're gonna bring our shit over to. Brazil tomorrow night. And you know what I mean? Like, I thought that sounded really cool. But anyway, it was not to be. But anyway, so that was part of the experience. Do you know of any other attractions that were going to be in it, though?
Yeah, they announced, didn't announce, but a couple of the things were, I can't remember, but they were long-ass dark rides to teach you stuff.
Oh, were they really?
Yeah, and that's what bums me out the most, is we were going to get all these cool educational dark rides. And
man, I love a good.
That's all I wanted. That's all I want. So
I love a good educational dark ride.
Instead, we got postcard themed land, and that's it.
Yeah, that's true. We did get that. Oh yeah. So anyway, so that did not happen, but so they gave up on that. I know at one point they were talking about doing. Disney Sea was the thing that they pitched.
Yeah, across the thing.
Maybe we'll have it be aquatic themed. It'll be Disney Sea. That'll be neat. And then that got rejected again for budgetary reasons.
Yeah.
But Japan was like, "Yo, we'll fund that."
Yeah, we'll do it.
So it went there, and it's one of the best parks ever made.
Yeah.
You never went there, right? Have you?
No, not yet.
You have not been to Japan
yet, but I will definitely be going to both the parks over there once I go.
How do you feel now that the Ava movie's delayed? You don't want to go? Do you want to go there? Still?
I still don't think I popped in the Blu-ray for the last one, but I will. Really? I will see it before the fourth. Is this the fourth one?
What?
This new one is this the fourth one?
Yes,
of the
fourth
movies?
one. Yeah.
Okay. I will pop in the Blu-ray and catch up before this new one comes out.
Cool. Well, in any case, we're not here to talk about anime. Sorry, everybody. But I would love to know what the attractions were going to be at that Westcot. That's one thing I really do not know.
Yeah.
Damn. If anybody in the chat knows about Westcot and you know of any of those or what was rumored, let me know. But I really didn't know. I really don't know anything about that. I just know about the hotel plan. Yeah. And that sounded really cool. So of course what happened was all of that was too expensive. They made a theme park on the cheap instead. California Adventure was that park. It was California themed, like a California postcard, and it
wasn't good. It was all
terrible.
Cookie cutter rides, and the best thing was Soarin' at the moment, and they've definitely stepped it up, but they definitely built one on the cheap, and it showed.
Yeah, it was
for sure.
They did make good strides to enhance it over the decade following, but it was bad. But that is why we got that whole plight that we mentioned is why we got the Grand Californian, the hotel that they did open it connected to California Adventure.
Yeah, you can exit your hotel into the park.
Yeah, it's connected there. Yep. If you stay in certain rooms, you're like above the park. You're in the park. The last time that I was able to stay there, they actually gave me a room immediately facing Goofy Sky School, so that people that were like, there's a part where it makes you feel like you're gonna fall off the ride was like right in front of my balcony. Yeah. So it was cool. Like, it was definitely like fun to just sit there. Like that was the fun of staying there, was just sitting there and watching people almost fall. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It was neat, but it's definitely no Westcot.
Could you see World of Color from your room? Cause that's kind of near there.
Yeah.
But that's
partially.
Yeah.
Partially. Yeah.
Cool.
And so that's really cool. I don't know if there's any place with a perfect view of it. I'm sure there must be.
That's why you probably see some of it.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Speaking
of DCA though, a ride that was built but not the same ride that was there was a ride that never was built because it was replaced by another thing. But Little Mermaid. Have you seen the original Little Mermaid? Like they did like a 3D ride through of it that was released years ago.
Yeah, and that was another, if I recall correctly, Tony Baxter creation.
Yeah,
right.
And they ended up not building that and built a different one. So
it's
still a dark ride for Little Mermaid, but
yeah,
it only one was built and one wasn't. It was weird. Like it's like two competing designs for it.
Yeah, the one that they showed it was on the Little Mermaid DVD.
Yes,
from like 2000 something. They showed
think
a preview.
it's on YouTube right now too, if you want to check it out. But it's cool.
The way that ride was going to be was a suspended from above ride, like
Peter Pan.
Yeah, like Peter Pan. Exactly. Yeah. It was going to appear where you're suspended from above, and they would dip you, like the part that you go underwater. It was going to be you enter into a big show building, and there was going to be a layer of fog as if that was like the surface of the sea. Yeah. And then they dip you below that, and then it was like under the sea, all the creatures dancing and all that stuff. The one that they ended up building, it's a traditional Fantasyland ride.
It is,
but it was
cool.
They went the cheaper route.
Yes,
definitely,
for sure.
And it shows. I mean, I like that ride, but it definitely they cut corners.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I totally forgot about that ride.
Yeah, how they had a whole different design. Even back there's an old, I can't find this video, but who's the main guy for the judge from Night Court? I can't remember his name.
What's his name?
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he did a special saying upcoming stuff that's coming to Disneyland, and it's from like 1990 or something.
Yeah,
the
Disney decade.
Yeah, and it was stuff like that never came, like the Dick Tracy action show or something like that. It was like a stunt show.
Yeah,
never came. But they mentioned the Alice in Wonderland.
It was
ride.
Harry Anderson. Yeah, somebody said that. Harry Anderson.
It was. They mentioned the Alice in Wonderland, Little Mermaid ride back then in like early 90s.
Yeah,
and that isn't the ride that actually was built later on. But that special was full of things that never came out.
It was like, he lists off 100 attractions that do not happen. Like, get ready for the Dick Tracy stunt show. In fact, honestly, that video is worth. I can't think of a better video to watch in the middle of this show. Like everyone at home on YouTube, look up. It's Harry Anderson. It's like the Disney decade that never happened.
But all I know is they used the Back to the Future theme for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't understand why. Maybe because there was a train in it, and it was around the time the third one came out. I don't know.
But I don't get it either. But
that was funny.
Yeah, it's all stuff that didn't happen. It's like, oh, here's Roger Rabbit ride, and also Baby Huey's buggy bumper. Yeah, it's like what was that? But that Little Mermaid ride, I can speak to that. That was another version of the Little Mermaid ride.
Yes.
Because for a minute they were because they were closing the submarines, and that was going to be a Little Mermaid thing. We're like, oh, you're down under the sea with them, and it never happened. It sat, and then eventually we got
Finding
Nemo. Yeah, I think Finding Nemo fits a submarine better than Little Mermaid because Little Mermaid, it doesn't fit that time or that place.
Yeah,
not that it really matters, but. I think they would have had to decorate the submarines as like they're like big shells or something. As opposed to Big Shell from Metal Gear Solid 2. Anyway, so Little Mermaid got thrown around a bunch of times. Isn't it funny that after all those years we got a Little Mermaid attraction? That was in the works for so long in so many forms, but it eventually happened.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny? It's that movie, but like the biggest ones from that era. Among the big, that was big, but Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, never.
We're getting a Beauty and the Beast now in Japan.
Yeah,
is it Japan? Or
I can't remember. Tokyo. Yeah,
Tokyo. Yes.
It took that long, but we finally got
that one. But there's so many other that never got their dark ride.
Yeah, I guess Beauty and the Beast did get eventually represented in Disney World. Like there's that Beauty and the Beast area is there.
Yes.
But it doesn't have a ride. It's just weird that those were kind of like left out.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a Lion King parade. Somebody mentioned that in the chat, but
okay.
But I think, I agree. Another thing in the chat that I agree with is that Beauty and the Beast ride. It's too good to stay just at Tokyo.
Yes.
I think we will get that here. I think we will get it in Disneyland. But a lot of this stuff I do feel like might be on hold after all this closure.
A lot of stuff is getting pushed for a long time.
I think you're quietly going to have a lot of projects just fade away.
Yep. So here's hoping. We'll see what happens, but here's hoping that the stuff that's coming out will still come out.
But if this whole pandemic thing had not happened, I would have said it would come to Disneyland. I think eventually they're going to axe the. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Where would you put it in Disneyland?
Either they axe the Fantasyland Theater and somehow make it fit there.
Oh, axe it anyway. I don't think anything worthwhile.
Yeah, I agree. But I also can see if they really need the room, they'd axe the submarines and they'd have Fantasyland take over that whole area.
Yep.
Which is a bummer. I like the submarines, but I guess I'm outnumbered. Yeah. Anyway. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. So
just
Little Mermaid,
everything like that.
Yeah.
There was. I just watched this awesome special on. Did you hear about? I should have linked you to it. It was a George Lucas themed land, not of George Lucas, but it wasn't Star Wars land. It was.
Yeah,
I forgot what it was called, but they're gonna redesign Tomorrowland all under George Lucas's design.
He was gonna overlook the whole thing. Yeah,
I
have heard about
Tony
that.
Baxter was heading the stuff and everything.
Yeah,
and it looked. I forgot what it was called. I cannot remember. It had a name and everything, but they were gonna build these awesome structures and do all this cool stuff with Tomorrowland, and we ended up getting rocket rods and a gold Space Mountain. And that was
they painted stuff gold and brown, and that was all we got.
It sucked.
I know Alien Encounter was supposed to be part of that.
They were supposed to have that with it, and it never came out. It never was built.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yep, they just repainted it. They closed the rocket rods and repainted the stuff, and that everything else that was open during that is not running. So,
yeah, I know that at one point there's artwork you can look up for sure. But I know at one point they wanted to turn the Carousel Theater, like where the Carousel of Progress is.
Yeah.
Well, it was for us, but it was a rotating building full of bullshit for us for years.
Yeah.
But they wanted to put an alien show in there.
Yeah.
I know at one point they planned to do that where it was like aliens putting on a concert for you as a replacement for America Sings and all that stuff. And there's not a ton of info about that.
No.
It would have been interesting. At least it would have had a definition, a defined Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
I feel like even if it closed some old stuff or whatever, still would be better than what we have right now.
Yeah, right now Tomorrowland is kind of just lackluster.
Yeah, Tomorrowland in California is like the one in Florida is kind of trapped in the 90s a little bit.
Still cool though, but trapped in the 90s. But
it's awesome. Yeah, it's getting old enough now to where it's becoming cool.
Yeah.
The one
trapped in the early 2000s.
Yeah, the one in California, it's just like half of it's closed.
Yeah.
It's just nothing's happening. It's just really like a bummer.
Yeah, that it really does suck. And yeah, all the stuff that they were going to show was like Tony Baxter designs that he wanted for other things too, like big glass structures and stuff that you see through. And it looked cool, but never got built.
Nope. Yeah, that's a bummer for sure. But anyway, wasn't it? Oh no, it wasn't an unrealized attraction. So I don't.
What, Pirates of the Caribbean?
No, I was gonna say I know they wanted to have. They had a Tomorrowland band. What was it called? Not the Zyzix, but
I do.
Helix
in Disneyland or Disney World?
Disneyland.
Oh, really?
It was Helix or whatever, but that wasn't unrealized. That happened. They just didn't do much with it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that happened. In fact, our good friend Matthew out there, he's doing a documentary about it. The same guy who did Matthew Serrano, who did the documentary on Horizons. He's doing a documentary on Helix. I don't know how you say it. Yeah. This band that only played in Disneyland like a couple times, but they wanted it to be like Star Wars the band. That's what they wanted it to be. Like, there was a monster and there was, stuff like that. I might be getting my info wrong, but yeah. Anyway, all of that Lucas stuff, did not come to pass.
No.
They really wanted a team with Lucas, though. I know a lot of Imagineers, they really wanted Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So at least they got that.
Hey, if that's all we got out of this deal, other than Star Tours and that, that's one of my favorite rides ever. So
totally agree.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Totally agree. I will say though, connected to Indiana Jones,
yes,
we did get the ride, but there was a whole other level to that experience that we did not get.
I vividly remember they wanted that whole area to be Indiana Jones at first. And
Indiana Jones was going to like take over
Yeah.
Frontier or Adventureland. Yeah.
and the train was going to be intertwined with, like, you'd be able to go, like, you'd ride the train and go through areas of this either temple or some of this whole land. In like enclosed by the top. Like, you'd kind of like how when you ride the train, you go through Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
You see a little bit of it. It'd be like that. I vividly remember seeing art when there was the art exhibit above Pirates.
Yeah.
And it showed a ride that was the end of Temple of Doom, and it was the minecart stuff.
Yeah.
And they were going to build a ride based on that. That it never came out, but
it
looked really cool. So,
yeah.
And it seems like that's destined to become a ride. Like, that'd probably be the easiest idea.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad they went with a different thing, because it's just
they went with something
Jones.
a little more intriguing.
Yep.
Than just you're in a minecart, get away.
Fast. This is like, we invented an entire system of motion simulators that actually have wheels on them and move and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
now a lot of people don't know this. I mean, this is so obscure. Who the hell would? But yeah, as you said, they wanted everything to go in and out of the Indiana Jones ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically like a themed area. A big piece of that concept artwork is hanging up in the Disneyland Hotel.
Oh, really?
I was so taken aback by it. I was walking through there one night and I was like, they have big artwork of all kinds of classic stuff. Oh,
yeah.
Old concept artwork for Small World. Ooh, really cool artwork for Tomorrowland. It's all up. Everything that, the Disneyland Hotel is very nostalgia themed.
Yes.
And then, at the very end of the hallway, there was a piece. I'm like, what is this? It's Indiana Jones helping two kids find something. And then there's a train going into the ride. And it's like, is this the concept artwork for that? It's somehow, I don't know how that got picked. But that is, that's in the Disneyland Hotel.
That's cool. I'll have to check that out when I can go
It's
back.
in the kind of convention floor area of the Disneyland Hotel near Steakhouse 55. If you're ever in that area.
That's bound to be the same artwork that we saw in the art exhibit above Pirates of the Caribbean.
I think it is.
It has to be.
I think it is, yeah. But I thought that was really cool, like a little piece of history. I was like taken aback by
That's cool.
by that when I found it. But anyway, I think they found the acceptable level. It would have been cool. It would have been cool to have the train go through that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you also don't want one thing to take over the whole lane.
No, you kind of want to still separate it and have cool little things and stuff. What I found out is that the reason they have all these grand ideas to be it's what they call, like, what is it, blue sky Imagineering or something? Where they just basically go, hey, if you had any budget, anything, like even break physics, just go nuts. What would you make? Yeah. And then they design something and then they take little bits out of that. So we basically, I think we just got Indiana Jones out of this huge grand thing that was never really probably going to happen. Yeah. But they went, okay, but this is a good idea. That's how they get really good ideas for things.
Yeah, I think so too.
Hey, go nuts, and then we'll cherry pick the best things out of it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's exactly what happened. I think that there is definitely definitely they overshot so that they could land somewhere in the middle. And I think any one thing taking over land is kind of risky. I love Galaxy's Edge. Yes. I love Galaxy's Edge. It's one of my favorite things they've added to the parks ever. But I still don't love the idea of entire lands based on one thing. Mm-hmm. I do think, I am a Star Wars fan, and I also think Star Wars has a diversity of stuff enough that they could build a lot of different types of attractions. So that's why I like it. But still, on paper, I don't love the idea of one land is just one thing, Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize, regardless of anything, Galaxy's Edge, it's in the back. It's its own thing. They didn't replace, any
ride.
They didn't replace Tomorrowland with it or whatever. But people do not realize how close we were to having, seriously, I heard it over and over and over again. People on the inside talking about that they were going to surrender Tomorrowland to just being Star Wars.
Yep, all of it Star Wars.
Yeah. I agree. I'm going to comment on the chat real quick. Kevin French Fries in the chat said I had to stop going on Mice Chat because of all the Galaxy's Edge hate. I fully agree with that. There are so many. I don't know if you encountered this, Kevin.
No, I stopped going to Mice Chat a while ago. On the forums, at least.
I like the. I don't really go to their forums.
But I go to their new stuff all the time.
Yeah, no. I love. They do like an article every Monday or whatever that I really love, where it's kind of an update on what's going on with the parks. I love that. I think they do a great job. But I guess I'm talking about, community stuff, message boards, things like that in general, because I feel like, people were like so venomous to Galaxy's Edge that it was kind of insane.
Yep.
Like, don't get me wrong. I have a list of things I could complain about in terms of, now, hey, we're talking about stuff that hasn't been built, so this does fit. Yeah. They were supposed to have a third attraction where you rode around Galaxy's Edge on a bantha, and they cut that. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. I think that's lame. There's supposed to be like bands playing and shows and stuff in Galaxy's Edge. Those were all cut. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. There was a fancy restaurant that was cut. Well, I'm upset about those things, but to fucking like burn the whole thing down because of a few things that didn't work out, to me, it just seems kind of insane.
Yeah, and it's like no fans of Star Wars have ever done that with anything Star Wars before until this park.
That's what I mean.
It's just a shock.
That was the that was the revelation for me, Kevin, that online discourse around Star Wars was like kind of useless because honestly, it made me feel, and you could probably say this about Marvel too, although I feel like I don't experience the same venom with Marvel stuff. I've never been the biggest Marvel fan, so I can't say. I've always been a Star Wars fan, so that I can speak to. But these entities are so big now. That was when I realized, these are so big. They're not just one thing. They're not just this set of movies or this TV show. They are such mega entities that they're going to make stuff that hits with some people and really doesn't with others.
Yep.
So to me, it's like to act like it should all fit. This is the way Star Wars should be. That ain't going to happen, bro. You're going to love the movie or you'll hate the theme park, or you'll love the theme park and you won't like the movie, or you'll like both or you'll hate both. Whatever. They're too big. And I agree with Nitro Dubs too. Marvel as a movie franchise is still kind of too fresh to have bitter old fans. Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that. But things are going to hit you, things aren't. That's just it. I don't care. I could give a rat's ass about the Clone Wars cartoon. I really don't. What I've watched, I didn't like. But I don't think that, like, what are they doing? I just think that's for that audience. And the theme park, for me, Galaxy's Edge hit for me. Like, that was like, oh my God, like,
you can go there.
Check it out. This is hitting all the check marks for me. I do see complaints that it's like, it's just a couple rides and a bunch of stores. But like, what is New Orleans Square like?
Yeah, look at every land.
Like, that's what they are. Like, they're like theme park stores and restaurants.
Like, this is how it works.
Yeah, but anyway, whatever. I don't want to keep going about that.
No.
But sometimes I have to get away from that. I'm like, chill, man. Like, especially after going on Rise of the Resistance, man. Like, I mean, that just to me made it a destination. But anyway, so there was a bunch of stuff there that didn't get built. But going back to Tomorrowland.
Yes.
We were so close to having that be like they were going to surrender Tomorrowland to Star Wars. And what's funny about it is it was all kind of original trilogy stuff. Once Disney owned Star Wars, I don't think they wanted to deal with the prequels. I think they thought, too much stigma connected to those. Which it's funny because in the years since that they've been talking about it, I feel like that the perception has changed. I feel like a younger audience that grew up with them is going, oh, I like those prequels. I thought they were fun. I thought, I feel like things have come around a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, but they were going to take over Autopia, bulldoze that, and make it a speeder bike ride through the trees of Endor.
Mm-hmm.
Was the rumor, and then the carousel building was going to be the queue for it.
Yeah.
they were going to do, I mean, there was all kinds of stuff. That's the only one I really remember off the top of my head. But they were, there was a whole plan to take that over. And then and it was like, do we take over Tomorrowland with that? I think people were just really hurt by like, dude, Tomorrowland is seriously just going to be Star Wars.
Yeah. The way they did it, I think, is better because it's off in this little corner of the park. And it's almost like separate. You don't feel like you're in Disneyland anymore when you're there. Yeah. Tomorrowland, you still feel like you're in Disneyland.
Yeah. And I feel like with Galaxy's Edge, they made it, how do I say? It's secluded. You really, if you're not into Star Wars, super easy to ignore.
Yep.
It's not like, oh my God, Star Wars took over Disneyland. It is really, it's in the perfect spot. And I think you could say that on both coasts.
Yeah.
It's really not
definitely.
like, if you're not into Star Wars, it's not like up your ass. You know, it's like, nope, hey, you want to go to another planet? There it is. And I also think that they built it in kind of a trilogy agnostic way where it just feels like a Star Wars place
area,
as opposed to, it's from this movie, it's from that movie. Now I could go back and forth on should it be an iconic place. I still go back and forth. You know, should it have been Tatooine or should it have been whatever? That I feel like that's a separate argument, but I think they did a good job at making it feel like it could be of any of the eras.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think totally.
I think even though it's supposed to be set during the new movies, I think they did a good job of making it feel like it could be anywhere in that universe. So anyway, whatever. But I'm glad they didn't replace. I don't think Tomorrowland should have been all.
I don't think at all.
I think there would have been a predisposed bitterness if that went in there. Like I think it would have been like. I think people would have honestly been pissed off. Just even if they did a great job with it, people would have been like, "Wow, we lost Tomorrowland." You know, like, why start with such a negative attitude?
Exactly.
So anyway, I think they made the right choice with that. Now. Going back to the question at the beginning of the show where I asked, what would be like when I say like unbuilt attractions, what's the first thing that pops into your mind? Now, I know I've brought this up before. I definitely know that I've said this before. So I know I'm repeating myself, but the first thing that pops into my mind, Western River Expedition.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The unbuilt mega ride in Frontierland of Disney World. And at one point it was pitched to Disneyland too.
Yep.
But that was Mark Davis's mega ride. He said, how do we top Pirates of the Caribbean in just a moody dark ride? Here's how we do it. A long ass Western ride through a sunset canyon.
Yep.
There's bandits. There's people holding you up with guns. Like, hey, don't tell anyone you saw us. Oh, we caught you. We're gonna send you down the river. That to me is like the definitive unbuilt. Like, it makes me sad to like read about it. Mm-hmm. So that's the one thing I could think of. That's the one thing that comes to mind for me.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that until just now, and I am so bummed that never got, like, it's a new Mark Davis ride. Like, why I would die for that. Like,
Kevin, would you die for it? How far would you go?
I couldn't ride it if I was dead. So
hey, real talk. If someone said right now, I'll snap my fingers, magic fingers.
Yeah, it's built.
And it's built and it's done and you could ride it. Like you're a big theme park fan.
Yeah.
But you gotta like what would you be willing to give? But okay, let's scale it. I gotta take your pinky.
You take my pinky and I'd do it.
Would you do it?
Because you don't like it's not one of your major like
I'm not laughing at you. Because I'm really thinking about it. I'm like,
thumb, no.
Shit, man. Yeah, thumb I wouldn't, but
pinky?
I think I would. I would want to go on that bad. I would do. Is that people in the chat? Are we sick? Because I'm kind of agreeing with Kevin here. I'm not disagreeing. I guess it's also a question of how is the pinky removed. if we're talking Yakuza style and they want it to hurt and whatever, I don't know about that. But if it's just ding, it's gone. I'm kind of.
I don't know. Life goes on without a pinky.
Life goes on without a thumb. No way. Thumb. I can't do that
because you can game without a pinky and yeah.
I'd rather it be like a middle finger or something like.
No, I use those too much.
Do you know Zach the Black Ranger in Power Rangers? Do you know he was missing a finger on one hand?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, like his index or whatever, the ring finger.
Yeah.
On one hand is gone. I mean, people didn't notice for years, and it's like, wait, go back and watch those episodes.
Huh.
He's missing a finger, and I guess when he was younger, a firework went off, or
and it's just he was in his hand.
It blew off that finger. Isn't that crazy? Middle finger is gone.
That's crazy. Yeah, I had no idea. But yes, I would probably give up a pinky for a while.
But I wouldn't go further than that. Like, you lose an arm.
No,
I can't do that.
But yeah, there's a bunch of like concept art, and I think they did like a mock ride through at one of the conventions.
It's on YouTube. Yeah,
it's on YouTube. Yeah,
they did a mock ride through. You can also get a pretty good experience with it. I mean, in your mind.
Yeah.
If you buy the new Mark Davis book that came out.
Oh yeah.
It's like a big 2-volume set. Mm-hmm. I forget what it's called. But Mark Davis at Imagineering, I think. Incredible book. Kevin, I can't say it enough.
Oh, I need to get it. I just haven't gotten around.
Oh my God. It's one of the best books I've ever bought. I really think, because it's all full of stuff that and this I guess will be the next subject is Mark Davis pitched about 1,000 rides that never got built.
Yep.
But I don't even think we have time for them all. But
no.
Western River Expedition, it goes page by page. Here's what this would have been, this part, then the next part, then the next part, then the next part. It actually page by page takes you through this unbuilt ride. And it even gets as detailed as like, here's what you'd see here, but if you look behind you, here's what you'd see. It's an incredible book.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, you got to do that. I was like, that it's rare that I am like, like by the book light, like in bed, like poring over a thing, like looking over, like I was looking over that, like I found the Dead Sea Scrolls. Like I was just like, whoa. So anyway, that ride was going to be unbelievable. Look up Western River Expedition. And we brought it up on here before, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
But, they built a whole ride a whole model of scenes from the ride, and that was on display on Main Street in in Magic Kingdom in Florida for years. Like, coming soon.
Never came.
And it never did. And then they rebuilt the place into an Epcot preview center, and they built walls. They just walled up that model. They didn't move it. They just put walls up.
Yeah.
And it was years later. It was in like 96 or something that someone was tearing it up for a different attraction or whatever. And then they're going, I'm hearing something's behind this wall.
Yeah.
And they tore the wall open, and there was the fully functioning model, still powered. It was lit up, like the lighting and all the things were working. It's like, this has been running behind this wall for like, it was like 16 plus years or something like that. I don't know what it was, but it was like, yikes. Someone bringing up in the chat, a couple people talked about this in the chat, and I want to bring it up. Somebody on Twitter said, Disney, do a VR version of these unbuilt attractions. Like, we're all sitting at home. Wouldn't that be cool?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this, Kevin?
No.
Bob Iger responded to the tweet. People kept tweeting it at Bob. Bob, do this.
Yeah.
And he actually responded and said, I think that's a great idea. I'm going to pass that to the team.
Oh, that is so cool.
Who would have thought Bob Iger would have
just model it in CG and let me sit in a boat.
Yeah.
Like sit in the car.
So another big attraction that Mark Davis pitched was another famous one was the like Ice Palace.
Yes.
It was
supposed to go where the Fantasyland Theater is, right?
Wasn't
that the land?
In Fantasyland. They were planning to tear down that theater even then.
Yep.
But that was the plan. It was like kind of the tale of the Ice Queen or whatever, and you go through her kingdom, and there's elves or gnomes or whatever floating on little icebergs all around you, and then you see like the majestic Ice Queen. It was kind of Frozen before Frozen.
Yeah.
And that was part of it. And from what I understand, like they scored it. Like they had Buddy Baker or somebody make music for the ride before they even built it. And that was the point that Mark Davis retired, because from what I understand, and they really go into it in the book, Kevin. You really like this part because he goes through all of it, like here's what will happen in the ride, and it really like pushed the envelope of the technology of animatronics and stuff. I mean, there was like a dancer on the ice that had all the legit like pirouettes and like raising their like ballet, like this thing did ballet.
Yeah, and
they said he brought it to the company, and it was like no one even gave it a moment. It was like, yeah, okay. Anyway, and they moved on. I mean, it was like he was like old man in the corner at that point, and he was just like, all right, peace out, and that was it. After that, he was just like, they ignored that so hard.
Yeah,
which is like insane to me. But someone in the chat was saying Disney doing those attractions in VR is the one thing that would get me to play a PC game or get, VR, like either a Vive or what? The Index, is that the big one?
Yeah.
Index. I want to respond to that. Absolutely.
Yeah. If it didn't come out for PlayStation, that's what I have, PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
I would buy a PC gaming rig with VR headset and everything like that just for that.
I would have that rig set up tonight.
Yep.
If they announced, hey, we're going to do Western River Expedition VR, before they even finish that sentence, I'd have the most powerful video card money can buy ordered on Amazon. I'd be putting the case together out of fucking wood and popsicle whatever I had.
Yeah.
That rig would be built by the morning.
I would definitely.
And I would have the Valve Index. I'd be at Gabe Newell's house going, give me the best rig you got. I'm not gonna do that. Don't bother Gabe Newell. That's a joke. But yeah, that's not even an exaggeration. If they announced that, it wouldn't even be a hesitation.
I would definitely get VR, PC VR.
I'd probably set it up here so that we could make a bigger space for it.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like at home I just wouldn't have a great experience.
No, it needs like
that.
Space and cameras and stuff like that.
That's the one benefit we have about having this big studio space is I feel like we could carve out a
VR area.
Like we could, Kevin, well, I'm going to say this real cautiously. I feel like we could kick some people out of some rooms here.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not going to name names, but I think we might have a new VR room very soon. Sean's got plenty of stuff to do at home. I did not mean to say the name. I
know, jeez.
Sorry. I didn't mean to. We'll cut that out. Kevin, when you edit this, you normally don't do that, but now you are the editor. Or whoever does it, YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube, cut that part whenever you upload it.
Have you seen how Disney uses VR to test stuff that isn't real yet?
I was just watching, again, I was watching a lot of behind the scenes stuff yesterday, and I saw some of that.
Before it's built, before it's anything, they go, okay, how does it look walking around it? And they have a full-on VR room that lets you walk around an attraction or in a new land before it's even built.
Yeah.
Or even if it is ever built. It's just test stuff.
They have a lot of stuff now that's like straight up just like the holodeck.
Yeah. Where you just walk into a room, put on this thing, and it becomes whoop.
Yeah.
Okay, you're
that blows my mind.
Yeah.
I think what's so crazy about that is it gives you a perspective that you never had before.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what's hard for like Mark Davis. He had to just walk in with like 100 drawings. Like, please trust me.
Yeah.
And it's just not like that.
And now these people that you're trying to get to fund it, you can just, hey, here, just get in this room and check it out. Like,
it's pretty crazy. But I was gonna say what was I? Oh, somebody else said in the chat, if you wanted to do Adventures Through Inner Space VR, all you'd have to do is play the soundtrack and put on a blindfold.
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny they say that. I was literally not joking. Yesterday, I saw my mom and dad at their, I brought them food or something. Why was I there? I brought them something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, and when I saw them, my dad was setting up his their surround sound thing or whatever. Like they have a Bluetooth thing and it'll play whatever's on your phone through they were setting that up. And my dad tested it and he put on he put on Adventures Through Inner Space. And he put on that soundtrack and he was like, man, I miss this ride so much. And I was like, seriously, you want to experience that ride? This is the easiest one. Everyone, turn the lights off and I'll push you around in an office chair. Like that ride was 90% rolling in darkness while somebody is going, oh, I think I'm getting smaller. Yeah. Oh, I feel like I'm shrinking. You know what I mean? Like it was like 90% of that was your imagination. So I feel like they could have tried it. But anyway. But yeah. Yeah, so they got to do that. I think they got to.
That'd be so cool. Yep. I would definitely do that. I'd check that out.
Anyway, other unbuilt stuff. I'm trying to think. I mean, really, I talked about most of the ones that I wanted to.
There is a again going over to Universal Studios. There were a bunch of Jurassic Park rides that never got built.
Really? I didn't know about that.
There was a Jeep ride. There was people have put up videos on it, but there was a couple rides that just straight up never got built. Like,
really?
The boat one was always in the cards, and that's what came out. But there were a bunch of like you're in a Jeep, you're in all this stuff.
What? I didn't know about any of these.
Ride, everything like that, and it just never got built. Like,
what do you know anything more about them? Like,
I do know the Jeep one had this cool thing where you're sliding down a hill and you actually like turn as you go. There's like straight up concept art on how it works.
Really?
And stuff. Like,
I did not know this.
This is what will happen, and yeah, there are a bunch of videos out there that describe it better than I am. But yeah, there were a few Disney Jurassic Park rides. I mean, that just never made it past the design stage.
No
just
kidding.
For budget reasons and everything like that. Because obviously the boat one was maybe the first or something, because there's concept art of the boat ride in the movie.
Yeah.
Like they were planning that before the movie was even finished being made. Like it was good to go. So
yeah.
But they were once it blew up, they were going to build others in maybe other Universal Studios and stuff.
Damn,
and,
wow.
Just never happened.
I really did not realize that.
Yep.
I did not know that about Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
People are bringing this up in the chat, and it is a very good point. I totally forgot about Beastly Kingdom.
Yes.
In Animal Kingdom. That part of it was supposed to, there were like when they opened Animal Kingdom, it was supposed to be the different types of Animal Kingdom. So it's like past, present, and fantasy.
Yep.
So it's like present where it's kind of like a zoo, past stuff like dinosaurs. Mm-hmm. And then fantasy was like dragons and stuff like that. And that's what Beastly Kingdom was going to be. It was like the kind of scary beasts of fantasy, you know. And didn't they kind of start on it? Like, isn't there...
There's remnants still of like little bits where they started like, why is there a dragon right here?
Yeah.
Kind of stuff. And yeah, it never got fully realized, but they're a little like they started it. You can tell that they started sprinkling little things. Even the logo, if you look at the logo for Animal Kingdom today, it has a dragon in it. Like, it's just all different types of animal. One of them's a dragon, and that just stuck. Like, Beastly Kingdom never got made, but that's in there.
See, that's what blew my mind is I never knew about any of that stuff. And then the last time I was there, I walked by a bench, and it was like there's artwork of a dragon.
Yep.
Like, it was on the lamps outside too, lighting fixtures or whatever. And I was just like, whoa, they really were close.
They had.
Go
ahead.
No, all I know is like there was a part in the river. There was like a river ride.
Yes, I was just going to mention that. It was like a dragon's cave, and it had like decoration and stuff. It's still, the cave's still there, but it's not used for anything.
Yeah.
Because that boat ride that went around isn't a ride anymore.
Yeah, there was this dragon cave, but I know for a minute in that park, they had like a bunch of dead knights.
Yep. Strewn about the cave. Entrance.
Yeah. Like the dragon killed like 80 different knights.
Yeah.
And people even there's pictures. You can look this up where it was like, ooh, that's kind of rough. Like it was just a bunch of dead bodies.
It's kind of like, yikes.
Yeah.
But I mean, to move from like fantasy creatures to sci-fi space creatures, I think I love Pandora there. I think so. I don't mind.
I think Pandora. I know there was a lot of hesitance when they announced Avatar.
Yeah,
and rightly so. It was kind of like not in the public eye. It had been out. It had been gone a few years when they announced, "Hey, Avatar is coming to the park." It's like, what? I'm sorry, what? But in a way, it fits what we were talking about, beasts of fantasy. Like they're, it's whatever. Science fiction, is can kind of be fantasy. I mean, it's it's fiction.
Yeah.
But I think as much as it was a weird choice doing Avatar, the message and the theme of Avatar, to me, you can't have a more Animal Kingdom connection than that.
It fits perfectly. It's like protect the planet, all this stuff. Like,
it's protect wildlife, the planet, the connection of natural life to the planet. It cannot, to me, you cannot find a better fit.
It was done really, really well.
Yeah, it was. I can't imagine that park without that now, kind of, So I think they really fit it. There's some things that are a stretch. There's been rumors forever. Somebody brought it up that they built the dinosaur area in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah,
and that there's been rumors for years that they were going to. They're going to tear that down and make it an Indiana Jones themed area.
Yeah,
like it's going to be very Adventureland, very like an Indiana Jones market. Mm-hmm. Now I love Indiana Jones. Yeah. And I think that world and that thing could be awesome to explore. But that is like a stretch for Animal Kingdom.
Fit, but I mean, the dinosaur stuff they have there is one cool ride, and the rest is like a carnival.
It's crap. Yeah, so I guess anything they build will fit better.
So I don't know. Like, yeah, the carnival stuff, I don't even bother looking at. Like,
no, it's garbage. So anything they build, I guess, would be better.
Yeah,
but I also don't. I
don't want them to tarnish what they have there by building something that doesn't fit. So
yeah, well, I think the dinosaur ride is kind of a signature ride. I would hate for them to make it just like the California one. But
I think they just flesh it out, make it still dinosaurs, but make it better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a better dinosaur theme.
Yep.
Kids never get tired of dinosaurs.
No. Yep,
that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
So just double down on that. Kids will like it. The new dinosaur area, whatever. Nasty Boy 434 in the chat is tired of us talking about theme parks. So I'm just going to go ahead and if there's any mods in the chat, you want to just remove them, feel free. I feel really bad that we had to subject them to this conversation. Kevin, I don't know if you have an apology lined up for that, sorry. But I just really want to say I'm sorry for that. It's really unfortunate that we were subjecting them. So if you want any mods in there, I can't quite get to it from here, but if you want to just kick them and give them a solid kick in the old pants there, I think that would just be appropriate for that. Unbuilt attractions, I really wanted to attract his ass to my foot, but anyway, that's another... Kevin, any thoughts on that?
Nah.
Okay. Anyway, all right, so... Anyway, so I think, I'd love to see an Indiana Jones area. Don't get me wrong. But I just don't think that it's in the theme there. Now, there are animal things in Indiana Jones, like you keep, a ton of snakes. Oh, a bunch of, whatever. But I don't know. I just feel like
really fit in that area.
What's that?
It doesn't really fit where that would go.
Like, yeah, I'm kind of whatever on that.
Yeah. And they did kind of get like that Expedition Everest is kind of like mythical creature as well, because it's all about Yetis and everything like that. So they kind of added that later.
Yeah, they kind of did add. I think it already kind of has any of the mystique that you could ask for a place like that. They kind of already have it there.
Yep.
I don't know what Indiana Jones would add to that.
No.
But yeah, as somebody is saying right there, the animals in Indiana Jones are obstacles. They really are.
Yeah.
They're enemies. So, yeah, I'm kind of just whatever with that. Yeah, but aside from that, is there anything else we haven't covered? I mean, I kind of feel like we talked about most of it.
There was something at Disneyland called Liberty Street, I think.
Yeah, they talked about that that was on the docket for years.
Yeah, and it was just, I don't think any rides were even going to be in there. It was just, or was the animatronic presidents or something. I don't know. But
no, I mean, all the Genesis, the Genesis of Liberty Square because Magic Kingdom got Liberty Square.
Exactly. Was this like kind of back alley area on Main Street?
They wanted that behind our Main Street in California, and that's where the Hall of Presidents were going to be, where you see all the presidents. Yep. Yeah, that didn't happen. Yeah, we never got that, but that just all went to Florida.
Yep.
You know what? We are missing one big one.
What?
Another Tony Baxter joint.
Yeah.
He fought really hard for Discovery Bay.
Yes. Kind
of a Jules Verne-esque Bay area in the Frontierland zone, right?
Yeah.
It was something like that. And that would have been really, really cool. Wasn't there at one point talking about there was an attraction in a balloon or something? Like,
oh, really?
In a balloon? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. That would have been where Galaxy's Edge is. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't really know of specific attractions that would have been in it.
It may have not even been announced what attractions would be in it.
But I think I heard, maybe I'm crazy, but I think there is part of the model of Discovery Bay. I think that part of the model for it is in Galaxy's Edge, in Doc Ondar's.
Yes, I remember you pointing that out that one time.
Yeah, there's a piece of a model next to in Doc Ondar, like he's got shelves full of stuff.
Yeah,
and I think one of them is the model for that attraction. Maybe that's kind of a tribute to what would have been there. I think because I know people were debating if it was like the land pavilion from Epcot, but I think it's part of Discovery Bay. Maybe I'm making that up.
It might.
I really don't remember. So everyone just, look it up, see for yourself. But anyway, those are kind of the main ones, I think, for me.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. I'm sure there's other ones. There's so many unbuilt attractions.
Yeah, there's
that we even know of. There could be stuff that's never even seen the light of day, and to the point where like concept art wasn't even made. They just brought ideas at the table.
Yeah, there's got to be more. But that's all I can think of off the top of my head, and that's what we're doing. Yeah, we keep it conversational. We're not, we're not a dictionary, or
no, we're not making notes and stuff like that.
I meant to say encyclopedia, but dictionary also works. We're not. Yeah. We aren't dictionaries, so you can't really fault us for saying it. But yeah, I'm trying to think anything else worth covering. Again, that Mark Davis book is full of stuff.
I need to pick that up. That's
yeah. There was at one point, what was it? There was a attraction that was like going to Roman time. And, what was it? Like a carousel theater show. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Epcot never got Brazil. That's true. They promised Brazil 1 million times.
The land is still there for it and never got built.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of weird. They're in the Epcot opening special. They talk about, all right, Epcot, Equatorial Africa. It's not ready yet, but give us like a little bit of time and it will open. And that never opened.
Never came
Man, out. Africa got like a few little shops or like a few, not even shops, like little booths.
Yeah, it's not even a land. It sucks. Like
every time I walk through that area, I'm like, this is all Africa got.
Yeah, and it could be this cool, gigantic, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, we sell Cokes here. Oh, cool. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was cool.
I think that's pretty much it, guys.
Yeah, that's all I can think about. I know that I'm forgetting something, but that's all off the top of my head.
That's all we have off the top. But if there's any unbuilt stuff that you think we could have, covered or talked about, let us know. Maybe next time we'll talk about it. I'm hoping the next episode will be recorded in the park.
Me too.
No chance that will happen in any way, shape, or form. But or do you think I'm wrong? What do you think, Kevin?
No,
you think I'm wrong?
It'll definitely be closed. Next
you think so?
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. What is that? Memorial Day weekend? Yeah, I don't think.
No.
Because I think that's just going to be I think if things do open, cool, but that's going to be last on the list because it's just so. It's not going to be. I think big arena concerts and stuff like that. That's actually last on the list, but
yeah,
I think it's not a priority, and that really sucks. That's a question I have for everyone watching. When do you think theme parks realistically will open? Kevin, is your guess?
I'm not sure. I think it'll be after summer. Now,
you think it'll be after summer?
I think it'll be after summer.
Because my guess was going to be fall. Like I can see them doing it beginning of fall, but they have precautions. Like, hey, it's only going to be this much.
Limiting the amount of people in there, limiting size of lines and spacing and all that stuff.
This many people, this far apart, da-da-da-da. I think fall of this year.
Yeah.
You'll see something happen. But as for full, I don't know beyond that, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Disney says their furloughs, they only anticipate going another, at the most, 6 months. And so if that's what but Disney ain't doctors, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see. Again, it'll be there when it opens up, so I'm down to wait.
We got to get in there. We'll find a way. Anyway. Well, that's it for another creepy old crypt.
Yeah, thank you.
Let us know what would be a good subject for the next episode. Maybe, again, something else that we can't visit. Again, we did this was unbuilt attractions. We did dead attractions before. What's something else that we can't travel to, even if we wanted to?
Yeah.
If you think you have a good idea for a subject like that, let us know. And we will cover it. Otherwise, I think that's about it. Tokyo Disney, but see, we could go there.
Yeah.
Someday.
Who knows? We might do an episode from there or about it. So
yeah, someday.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's happening, but something that we literally cannot do, even if travel was normal right now. Yeah, urban myths, accidents on rides. See, that's kind of an interesting thing. It might be kind of a morbid episode. But urban myths would be kind of funny because then we could talk about like Walt Disney's frozen head.
That's legit.
Urban myths is kind of a funny idea because I can think of a few of those.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be like deaths or accidents, just urban myths. I know a lot of those. I have a lot of friends that are like, I heard this is this, and it's like, oh my God.
I heard there's a bathroom at the entrance that's secret and nobody knows about.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
That's a rumor.
I heard that's a real skull, stuff like that. I think we could.
Oh, we could totally do an episode. That's a good episode.
Myths and legends episode. I think that's good. And then, that's a good subject too. Somebody said armchair design your own rides. What would it be?
That would be a good episode.
That would be
like
good.
To do that. If I got to build a Disney ride,
Kevin,
would suck.
Think of a ride and design every room to it. Like, where would you go? I think that would be
that would be a cool.
We could each present one and then put it to the vote. And
then we can send it to Tony Baxter.
Yeah.
And see if he approves it or denies it. Not fund it. Just say, give a thumbs up.
If Bob Iger's responding to tweets now, I will tweet at him. I'll be like, yo, which of these rides are you going to build? You have to pick one. You got to pick one. Anyway.
No, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that could be fun. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Again, this is Creepy Old Crypt. Did this as kind of an early episode of Future Probe, so that's going to be the end of it. I know some people probably tune in at 7 o'clock to, Future Probe's on, but this was Future Probe. We did it a little earlier today, as I did announce, but I know not everyone sees everything, so sorry if you're waiting for another stream after this. I'm done. That's that. Got stuff to work on. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Kevin, any other final words?
No, that's it. Thank you so much, and I'm excited to do another one.
Me too. All right, we'll see you. We'll see you for next month's episode, which isn't too far away.
No,
four of whatever. Creepy Old Crypt. Thanks. Good night.